about like this. That way you're just giving yourself a setup for that first turn to the right there. I'm watching that one on the left, now the one on the right, one where I'm going to pivot around. I've got that one made. I'm going to turn it all the way to the right, and I'm going to keep it over here, even though I'm already past this cone here. And then I'm going to stop when I'm about even with it. Turn back to the left. Keep an eye on it in my mirror. Make sure I don't hit it. There we go. I got it made now. And then again, I'm going to go farther than it seems is necessary over to the left here to give myself room so that I don't hit it when I turn back to the right. Just like that. Good. Next one's the right hand turn. I'm not very good at this one. You want to get within 6 inches of that pivot cone there. Okay. Each line there is another 6 inches. I am a bit too close. I didn't quite hit it, but I might hit the ones on this side here. I'm going to nudge that last one there. Just barely. So I hit one cone there. Left turn, I come in at an angle like this. And then I stay nice and close to the one on the left hand side to try and keep my rear swing from hitting the one on the right. So there's my pivot point. I'm going to turn it all the way to the right, and then right before my rear end touches that last cone right there, I stop, I straighten it out and go forward just a few inches to make sure that I don't hit it, and then I'm back to the left again, just like that. Get over close to the left hand cones here. I start my turn about at the third cone. Stop just before you get to the ones on that side. Put it in reverse, push the horn 4 ways, and then we're going to back up. Get my pivot point right next to that pivot cone on the left hand side. Just like that. There we go. And then we're just straight back. These cones are all 5 feet apart, and the alley here is 45 feet long, so I stop when my front end is almost to that second cone on the right about there. If you want, you can look and see how close I am back there now. Those lines, you see the lines under the bus? That first one is 3 feet. You want to be within that 3 feet line. That's no points off. I think every one after that is either 5 or 10 points off. But you see that cone is about centered in my front window door there. That's what I usually aim for. And then as you're coming back out of here, cones still count if you hit them. I just try and stay nice and close to the pivot cone so that I don't have to worry about my rear swing so much. And then we'll come on out. Here nice and straight. Once my pivot cone approaches that last, or my pivot point approaches the last cone, that's where I crank it over to the right. Right there. And then I'm watching the cones on my left side with that left rear corner, because I'll hit it if I keep it cranked like this. So just before it hits, I start to straighten out, just to keep that from happening. There we go. And then once I've cleared them, I'm all the way to the right until I'm just about lined up with these cones here. And I stop, all the way back to the left again, and roll forward, and straighten out as soon as I can here. It'll be a little bit crooked going through these, but it looks like I'm gonna make it okay. There's the ones on my left and the ones on my right. Now tomorrow there will be a reverse here, as you saw already, where all these boxes are. It'll be the right hand reverse. Same marks and stuff as the left hand reverse. The only difference is you go back out the way you came instead of going out the opposite end. Next one is the passenger stop. I like to get out over to the right here until I'm kind of parallel with the cones. And then as soon as that pivot point is right next to the second cone, oh, I'm already too wide. I try to get nice and close. Now I'm watching my front tire. Can you see my front tire in the mirror there? Yeah. I'm watching to keep it nice and close to the curb. And that's what I watch. I just try to run it along here and keep it as close as I possibly can. All the way. The closer I keep it, the closer my rear tires get to the curb. And then I'll stop until when I have just enough room to get out without hitting it. There we go. So this is 5.5 inches. You want to be within 6 there. This is 13. You want to be within 15. Good job, guys. Okay. All right. Now you can still hit the boards with your front tire here if you turn out too much. You see that? Yeah. I think I'm still okay. I'm not sure I've quite hit it, but if you're much closer, it's possible to hit it. So I'll turn out a little bit, roll forward just a couple of inches, and then I'll crank it the rest of the way so I don't hit this cone here. For this one, I usually just focus on the outside row of tennis balls, since I can't see the ones that are under my bus. And this is where I use the mirror up top the most, because it gives me a nice zoomed in view of what my rear tire is doing. So I'm going to get it closer here. There we go. Just like that. Okay. And then we're up to 20 miles an hour. Get ourselves lined up with the cone, or the barrels up here. You just have to hit the front ones at 20. After that, you can start to slow down. And then you want to be within 6 inches of this last cone here.
Well, that's definitely.
I think we made it within 6. It's about 3. Right?
I feel more prepared.
Good. All right. Why don't you go ahead and get your bus set up? I'll get this cone back in place.